All right, explorers, so today we are in the old ghost town of Bayhorse. You see the sign there behind me. Bayhorse was a mining town. Kind of look up here behind me, and I'll pan around as we're talking. I'll get you some more history, some of the numbers and dates and stuff as we walk around and look at some of the signs. Last time I was up here was 42 years ago. And this wasn't a park at that time. It was just wide open. I can already see that a lot of the buildings are pretty dilapidated. A lot of stuff has fallen down, but I'm happy to see that they've made it a state park and they're protecting this so that people like us can come up and take a look at this old stuff and it's not getting torn apart and hauled off and stolen. And yeah, let's not lose some of our American history. So there's a number of areas that are closed off from the storms that they've had, all the rain that they've had, and today, Robert that works up here today was telling me this is the hottest day of the year so far, so it's pretty warm. So hopefully, if you guys get up here, they'll have all the trails cleaned up. A lot of the stuff's washed out, so we're going to be restricted in where all we can go, but we're going to get around every place that we can go. So let's get started. Let's take a look around Bayhorse. Let's go over and take a look at some of these tools and some of these signs and see what they've got to say. Or transportation, getting there from here. I'll let you guys pause to read these signs if you like. I'm not going to read them all out loud to you. Nobody wants to hear my voice that much. Over here we've got some big pieces of equipment. I got to get my dog out from underneath my feet. Hey Mowgli. It's hot, huh? Should have got a drink. A lot of the old pieces they brought out here and just laid out for people to be able to look at. This is really cool. There's some God, this was heavy work. This was an old drill press. Holy cow, look at this. Still has a bit in it. Huh. Thing was monstrous. Belt drive. Let's take a look at this sign. This is an old mine building. Again, just pause to read the signs if you want. Down here on the ground, we've got some core samples. Well, they had these wooden tubes, I'm assuming was to move water from one point to another. That's interesting stuff. This old building, it's just barely standing there. Like I said, they've made it a state park. They're doing some restoration. They're propping up some of the buildings that have been falling down, keeping this thing intact for us to come and enjoy. Holy cow, look at this old compressor. Massive. That is huge. What do we got here? Don't trip on that stuff. Smelter. Oh, that's kind of hard to see. I don't know if the camera's picking that up right. Here, let me get... An electrical cord hanging out of there and an old six-pack ring. Funny stuff. Yeah, looks like the old smelter building is just completely collapsed. This old stone building, let's see what this is about. I love stone buildings. stone building. Some of the rock was starting to fall out up there. They've got that propped up. So to get up to the actual mine, they've got that closed off. Mining claims. Huh. Miners' distinctive personalities showed through in the names of their claims. That's funny. And if that was the old outhouse built on the side of the hill. Easy to keep that one clean. Now this looks like a big tailings pile. Seems like for as long as this was here and functioning, there'd be a lot more. Maybe they hauled off a lot. I guess this was a caretaker's house. For years they had a caretaker up here keeping people from tearing stuff up till they finally got it secured up. Oh, we can get pretty dang close to the mine building. Amazing. The work that went into this for the tools and stuff that they had at the time is just amazing. Some fresh tire tracks. Maybe they do keep somebody up here still. All in a day's work. Bayhorse Mill. Let's see if I can get out of the sun here. That we can see inside in the dark. A lot of stuff's collapsed in there. Land of the Yankee Fork State Park. Rotted, but man, I'd like to get inside this building. And these old pieces just laying out. There's an old car door. Anybody know what that door's off of? Let me know down below. Fenders and running boards. Wow. Old bell housing with a starter still on it. Dogs looking for shade. Oh my goodness. I guess I know what that door's off of. Look at this old truck. Wow. Pretty neat. Stay on this side of fence. Another little shack, maybe another, looks like a two-seat outhouse there. I believe this trail just goes on off to a little picnic area. So let's get turned around and get back down below and see some more of the buildings and stuff. Some more signs. Alright, so coming back down here where we started. go take a look at this sign. Beardsley Brothers owned and operated the Beardsley Mine overlooking the town of Bayhorse. Look at that group. These are some hard-working men right there. So this is where the trail ends. They've had some washout problems here, but we're going to take a look. Now, Robert there was telling me they had a cold storage building. It was built back into... Robert was telling me it was a cold storage building that was built back into the side of the mountain here. When I was up here 42 years ago, there was actually a hole in the side of the mountain that you could put rock over, and it was an entrance to a small ice cave. What would happen is when they had meat and things that needed to be kept cold, they would walk down to this hole inside of the hill and put their stuff in there. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the hole that I saw is probably way down here at the other end. We'll come in from the other way to avoid this washout area, but take a look at that. But Robert was just telling me that they had a cold storage building. I'm thinking that might be the roof of it right there. It's kind of built down in the ground. He said it went back into the hillside. Now, Idaho is known for having hot springs and ice caves. Kind of an interesting combination, but if you know the geology of it, they actually work together, and so it's pretty neat. There's some neat stuff here. One of my upcoming videos, we're going to get down and maybe take a tour through one of the big ice caves a little bit further south from where we're at right now. See this old building? This looks like this might have been a store, maybe the little grocery store. Pretty bad shape. They've got some shoring on it holding it up. All of this stuff is, gosh, I don't even know. I'll have to take a look at the documents, the paperwork that Robert gave me. Have a little bit more information about the timing on this. Anyway, let's walk down to the other end and come up from the other direction and see what else we got. Oh yeah, that noise in the background. Look at the amount of water running off of this mountain. God, it's just beautiful. Bet there's some sweet little rainbow trout down in there. We got this old log building here. Pretty bad shape. You see that one wall's tipping out. Actually, both the walls are tipping out. I don't know. This may have been their ice house. It's kind of built into the hillside. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to get up and walk around up there and find the hole that I knew about years ago, because we've got all this fencing, and I want to respect that they want to keep people out of there. So let's go on down here. Boy, that looks... I'm not sure what that was. A place to call home. Hopefully the camera can see that. I'll move a little bit. Let's see, maybe this angle. Hopefully you can see that. Come on. Over. Mowgli. Oh, over. Over. There you go. Good boy. So now I think this is the house he was saying was the Doc's house. I'm pretty sure this is the house I was in 40 plus years ago. It's all boarded up, closed up, but it had a screened in porch. And at the time when we walked in here, there was a coat rack. There was a leather work coat, there was a sweater, there were some other clothes, there were work boots on the floor. And when we walked in, probably can't, I don't know if you can see back in there or not, but there's a door back in behind this collapsed roof, and that walked into basically the kitchen. When we walked in here 40-something years ago, there was petrified food still sitting on plates, still on the dinner table. This family Probably one of the last families to leave. It appears as though they sat down, had their last meal, grabbed their most important possessions, and left here. Dishes in the sink, dishes on the table, food out, stuff on the stove. It was kind of sad, but the house is still here. Like I said, you can see they've got a lot of shoring holding this up. I'm so happy that they're doing what they can to preserve all of this. Like a staircase that went upstairs. Been a long time, I don't remember all of the details, but I'm pretty sure the screened in porch and a very house looking house. This is the building I went into. All this rock that slides down. See those caves up there? Those are too high to be any of the ice caves. They would be right down here at the foot. But really a pretty cool deal. And some more old pieces of iron out here. Now this building just completely fell down. Gone, gone, gone. I have a feeling this place was a little bit more lush than this when this was active. So just the fact of having activity here would have had, you know, people would have had gardens and different things like that, and animals for food and milk, eggs. And this is about the last building we're going to be able to get close to here. Again, this was a hand-hewed log building. You can see the hatchet marks on these logs, packed with mud. Big piece of cloth over that window. Oh, the fireplace has just collapsed down. The chimney's collapsed down in there. There's one more stone building up there on the hill, but we can't get up to that. Again, we're at the end of our trail. Look at this massive piece of iron. This was built up. I wonder if this was some kind of a sluice box, or walk around this end, see if we can see any opening to it. Can't really see anything back there through the trees. Alright, explorers, well, I want to thank you for coming along this trip with me to see the old mining town of Bayhorse. Hopefully you find this kind of stuff interesting. I'll take a look at the pamphlets that Robert gave me, and I'll put the dates and whatnot in the description down below. And be sure to give us a thumbs up, share this with anybody you think might be interested in this old cool stuff, and you know, subscribe if you haven't done it yet. Look forward to seeing you on the next video. Going to be a lot of fun stuff coming here real soon. All right, have a great day. All right, a little bonus footage to Bayhorse. As I was getting ready to leave, Robert was telling me about the charcoal kilns that were up here. So we drove just a little bit further up the hill. Let's take a look at these really quick. There's a sign right here to read. So they use these old beehive kilns to make charcoal. This one's just about all gone. The tops are gone out of all the rest of these, but there's still enough here. That you can see what it was about. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like they had 6 of them. that I can see right here. And then he also said there's another mine right across the river here, but the signs say to keep out because it's washed out. Let's go take a look at the sign. This is just talking about the safety and what to look for. Well, maybe the trail's not closed now. Oh, look at this. Oh yeah. Sorry about the noise. The water's really moving. All caved in and filled in. I don't think, I know I'm not crawling in there, but I don't think you could get back into that. Anyway, there's another trail here that continues on. If somebody was looking to do some hiking, you could probably hike all the way up to the lakes from here. The lakes will be another video at another time. So right here's the trailhead. Oh wow. Beardsley Mine, Sheridan Lodge, Sheridan Lode, Sherman Lode, Pacific Blaine Lode. Boy, there's a lot of stuff to hike around and check out here. Maybe another trip. All right, explorers, thanks again, and you know the routine. Comment, like, share, subscribe. We'll see you soon.